What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Peer Pleasure with Dewey Halpus on Jabberjaw Media. I am Dewey, your host with the most, bringing you more great content week after week. And guys, this week, this was a crazy episode. It took place in two parts and two cities in two different areas of the country over the course of a week. And what a wild story. I think I'm going to have to write this one up as an article because there's just so much that happened throughout this experience, and I don't want to take 40 minutes to describe it all to you on the episode and make you guys listen to it before we get to the interview. But long and short of it is Fat Mike from NoFX, Fat Records, came on the show last Thursday. We did a phone interview, and it went well, but it was very short. It got cut off. Our interviews got set at the same time as a Canadian interview he had to do. And I'm not sure if that one had gotten booked a couple times because that guy was pretty pissed. And as it stood then on Thursday, I was going to see Mike at Punk and Drublick here in Portland this coming Friday. So we said, hey, you'll hear it on the interview. But we said, hey, we'll pick this up on Friday. And that was the plan. After which he texted me and said, hey, we talked about a bunch of music. He's like, hey, you should fly down next week and hang out at the house and I'll play a bunch of shit. So, of course, I was like, well, are you serious? Because I will totally do that. And he replied, yeah, absolutely. It's done. So he said, come Tuesday. So I went home. I was like, hey, I might need to go to LA next week. And we booked tickets and flew to LA. I just landed in Portland, Oregon, back from that trip, but flew down to Los Angeles, met up with Mike from Jabberjaw, my good buddy, and we went and did an interview that same morning with Leah Wellbaum from Slothrust. You guys will hear that in a few weeks, but we went straight from there to lunch and then over to Mike's house over in Sherman Oaks, and we pulled up to the house and it was completely under construction. It looked like, at first I thought he was joking, like he sent us to a construction site because it's literally being gutted. And we pull around the corner and I see his clown car. There's a inside joke about that, but you can see it on his Instagram. Anyways, we see the clown car. We're like, okay, we're in the right spot. And out of the corner of our eye, we see him over in a doorway, and we go over and, Mike, how you doing? And he took us on a tour of the house and had us, check out the tennis courts and the pool and all that stuff while he was walking with his designer. Anyway, we got a whole tour of the house and then went in the studio and basically just jammed out a ton of music from the new NoFX music he's been working on, the musical stuff he's been working on for Home Street Home. He's got like 80 songs for that. It was a really cool experience because, I've been into NoFX since I was an early teenager, and then being able to go to Fat Mike's house and just be welcomed in, play all this music, and be able to get to critique stuff and throw ideas back and forth that may or may not, change some of these songs around or the order of things, and having that kind of a hand in things after not knowing somebody until you have a 20-minute phone conversation and then all of a sudden you're on a plane to their city is really an interesting way that this podcast medium, it's different than an interview. As you guys know, it's a conversation between two people, and a lot of times friendship starts from just striking up a conversation with somebody. And I mean, weekly we do that with people we don't know as hosts, and sometimes you hit it off. And Mike said that that interview, the phone interview you guys are going to hear, he thought was really good and genuine, and that's why he felt comfortable having me come down and, looking into his life. And what a crazy life it is. I mean, we basically, to put it long and short here, it was time to do the interview after we listened to all the music, had the tour, all that stuff, hung out, and I got all set up in the studio for, recording the interview. And he's like, man, it's too hot in here. I'm like, okay, where do you want to do it? He's like, wow, what about outside? And it's super hot outside, but he's like, man, we should do it in the pool. I was like, okay, that's the first time I've done an interview in a swimming pool. And this is a full-size swimming pool and 10 feet deep in the backyard. And so Mike and I get ready. I go set up outside. We get some power out there, and I've got the mic set up and everything else. And he's like, well, there's a couple rules to the pool. Everyone who gets in the pool has to wear rubber or latex and heels. Because as you know, Mike likes to cross-dress and has been pretty open about that and openly cross-dresses now. And Mike from Jabberjaw and I look at each other, we're like, dude, let's do it. So, of course, Mike goes back to his dungeon area and gets out a ton of different pieces of leather, where I ended up, and you guys have seen it on Instagram, and if you haven't, you can go to Instagram and see it. But I ended up, since I'm enormous, wearing a giant rubber latex muumuu, pink with black, zips up all the way to the neck, all the way up to the ears almost. And Mike from Jabberjaw ended up wearing what's the color? It's like a deep red dress. And unfortunately for me, he did not have size 14 heels. He had size 16 heels. So I escaped without that, but ended up cannonball into the pool. His girlfriend was with us, and he has a dominatrix there as well. So the scene is this. Mike and I are in the pool. Mike's in a floating on his back next to the side so he can hold the microphone without the cord going all the way into the water. His girlfriend and dominatrix are in floaties floating around as we're doing the interview in the pool. So you guys will hear that. We really touch on a lot of things. As always with Mike, things get a little strange or absurd, which I really appreciate because he's always himself and just an interesting guy. But we really dug deep on some stuff. And I mean, even after the interview, we talked a little more about some things that he's released. That Cokie the Clown record, which is, as I've said before, one of the most emotionally taxing records I've ever heard, to where when Vanessa sent it to me at first, I had to pull over because I started to tear up in some of this. I mean, it's just the most honest thing. If you sat down in your room, or it's just somewhere by yourself, and had the balls to write down exactly what you were thinking in some of the worst times of your life, completely honest, that maybe no one would ever see this, but you had to get it out. He's done that and then put it out to the world. It's absolutely a beautiful thing. And I told him that, from the get-go. I emailed Vanessa immediately and said, I have to talk to Mike about this record. Like, it's that important to me because it's something that is so real and true, which is something I try to preserve on this show, being completely honest. And that's why we took pictures of what we did at Mike's house, you know what I mean, and put they're up on Instagram. And Mike said, release the video afterwards because people aren't going to believe you did this. And I said, you know what, fuck that. I'm going to put it out first. People can see it, see what they want, and then listen to the episode. So we went backwards with it. But as you can see from the Instagram, if you haven't looked at it yet, go check it out. But it's a real deal. I may put some more pictures up, and I'm gonna write up the whole trip in an article and put it on the website because it's going to take too long to say here. And who knows? Maybe we'll do another podcast where I explain it all. But that's the gist of it. It was an absolutely amazing trip. Super weird, but super awesome. And when Mike from Jabberjaw and I go travel, I mean, whether it's to Mexico City for the Aussie stuff or to LA with Fat Mike, or I mean anywhere we end up going, things just get nuts, and it's hilarious. We just looked at each other when we got back in the car after this whole thing and just high-fived and laughed because of how absolutely absurd our entire existence has been together. So I'm going to stop rambling on, guys. You'll get to hear the interview. It's going to be, I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to put the phone interview we did initially, where Mike and I had never met, never spoke before, first. It's about 18 minutes long. And then it'll cut off where, he wants to, do this other interview so we can connect on Friday. And then I'm going to just chime right in, go right into the in-person interview, which is about 55 minutes before we just kind of trailed off and just said, fuck that, it's too hot. Let's get in the pool and have some fun. So that's how it's going to go. You're going to hear the phone interview, and then you're going to hear the in-person interview, and then I'll chime in like I always do at the end and give you a bunch of bullshit about the the business side of things. But I'm going to put some business in the front here. Check out our sponsors, artistflags.com, Merge4 Socks, and rockabilia.com, guys. They're just fantastic people. I say them every week, so you guys know who I'm talking about. But yeah, artistflags.com, Merge4 Socks, and rockabilia.com. And check out RER Studio, my buddy Ryder, on Instagram for all his leather work. That strap he made me is so badass. He's made another one for Portugal the Man that is equally fantastic. And you guys will not be disappointed if you get stuff from him. So yeah, as always, shout out to Ryder. Shout out to Vanessa at Fat Records for dealing with all this stuff and being really honest about how things work with Fat Records and Fat Mike. And we made it just a really great time. And big shout out to Mike from Jabberjaw for being my travel partner and my driver and one of my best friends. So anyways, guys, peerpleasurepodcast.com is the website. It's been recently revamped by Samantha, and it looks fantastic. I wanted something very crisp and clean and a little bit updated because it's, we hadn't changed the website in a long time. So lots of new stuff on there. We got the artwork for the show up there, and I think it's going to be a cool thing. It's going to be updated more often. And like I said, I might write up this whole episode or this whole trip in more detail and get it out there for you guys. So anyways, thank you guys for sitting through this. Thank you for listening to the show week after week. And we're going to get into this episode with my now good buddy, Fat Mike from NoFX. How you doing today?
Yes, I'm on day 2.
Day 2?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you been up for 2 days?
No, I quit opiates 2 days ago.
You quit opiates 2 days ago?
Yep.
Oh, my God. Congratulations. Or I'm sorry, depending on how you're doing. I mean, I'm sure.
I wasn't doing very much.
Oh,
So
shit.
I've been worse.
Man. Well, I know you've always
I was
been...
I was only taking a Vicodin, like 15 milligrams. That's not a lot.
Yeah, in the grand scheme, yeah, for sure.
But it was a couple months, so.
Wow. So
I'm fucking pooping out my ass a lot. No, that saying I'm pooping out my ass is not original material. It's kind of dumb. It's master of the obvious kind of shit. What kind of questions do you got for me?
Well, it's more of a conversation on this show than a typical interview. But I wanted to talk mainly about the Cokie record because Vanessa, I mean, NoFX has been a big part of my life growing up. It's one of those things where I can listen to a record, and it takes me back to a certain time. You know what I mean? We grew up in Alaska. I was a touring musician for 10, 12 years, but.
Oh, what'd you play?
Guitar. I was Portugal the Man is the band, and it was crazy. We grew up on NoFX, and it was back when.
Well, so you know about my chord progressions and shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know you talk about it.
Most people don't.
Well, you guys don't use a lot of choruses. You have tons of chords. I mean, it's very technical music, and that's one thing that
but people don't know it though, because it's funny how much people don't know that.
Well, it's funny how many people think NoFX, even now talking about, to a buddy of mine that I was going to be talking to, that I've been trying to get into NoFX, their favorite band's Anti-Flag, and they like really political punk rock. And I'm like, they thought NoFX was kind of a joke band. I'm like, no, not at all.
No, we're kind of more political than they are. It's just told in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's told in story, not in fucking speech.
Exactly. And that's what I've been trying to get across. And speaking of perception, I mean, that's one thing, like on the surface, NoFX music always made me feel up and happy and good. Like I was, it pumped me up. But once you dig in and see, everything else going on, it can completely affect you a different way. But the big reason I wanted to talk to you today, Vanessa sent me the Cokie record early, and I had been in communication with her on different talking to maybe like Joey Cape and stuff. And she sent me that record, and I did not I put it on and it blew my mind. Like I was tearing up at times. And this is funny because I don't know you at all, but it was so real.
But now you do.
Now I know basically everything, which is so fucking crazy. I emailed her back immediately. I put it on, drove to where I was going, emailed her back. I was like, I have to talk to Mike about this record. This is one of the most honest things I've ever heard. And to affect me that way, not knowing you or what you've, just what you were talking about on that record was so intense. I wanted to talk about that,
much. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It means a lot to me.
Well, thank you, because I mean
that record is for it's not for everyone. Some people can't even listen to it.
Man, I understand. I understand that because it affected me in a way that I've not been affected by many things in the last 20 years. And I've not gone through the kind of things you're talking about, as far as, I've had friends commit suicide, but I've never found them. I've had a mother-in-law die of cancer, but not my own parent. Like I've had
the worst one is Bathtub, though.
Oh, my God.
No, the worst one isn't Bathtub. The worst one is the second song.
Yeah, Fair Leather Friends.
That's the worst thing that I've ever been through. Is the kind of humiliation and just dropped, from friendships because of who I was seeing. That made me question my entire social circle. Not just question it, but I dropped them. I moved from San Francisco to LA because if that's the kind of people that were my friends, I don't want to be friends with them. And I can't, the sound man and manager for NoFX are my best friend for 22 years. Mm-hmm. We don't talk anymore.
Wow.
He's also the person in the NoFX song. He said to me in a van once, and we were driving home from golf, and he said, "You've done so much for me, and I love you, but I don't like you anymore." And I said, "Stop the car, let me out. We're done."
Oh my God. So, I mean, I don't even understand how you deal with something like that, because I mean, those guys have been your family.
I do a lot of drugs.
But I
do a lot of drugs.
Is that why you do a lot of drugs? Is to get away from that stuff? I mean, that's like number one, to hide that stuff.
Yes, and I moved to L.A., and in L.A. I found, first, Johnny and Annie from Old Man Markley, they took me to their house. And I lived there for 3 months. And finding out that, all the songs that are about Soma Snake Oil, like the first song is Her Killing Yourself, and I saved her. The second song is about how people treated her like shit. But then I talk shit about her later in the album. And our breakup was pretty horrible for me because I'm not good at being alone. And she had done horrible things behind my back. So it was like the woman I was defending all these years. Mm-hmm. People treated her like shit, not because she was a shitty person, because she was a fucking sex worker, which is why they all suck. And it turns out she was kind of a shitty person. So yeah, my whole floor fell out from beneath me.
Oh my God. So, I mean, I'm trying to think how to navigate this, because it's I want to do it in the right way, because I really respect.
You're doing fine. You just let me go. You think the album was cathartic? It wasn't. It was a fucking horrible experience to record.
How did you come up with this persona in the first place? Like, was it these events that inspired that, or was it a particular event that kind of?
No. I just did that thing in Austin. I just invented this character because it was a NoFX song. Mm-hmm. I did a show, and between songs, I told terrible stories that have happened to me in my life. And then I just started working with Danny Lohner from Nine Inch Nails. And I mean, the song about my mother I recorded a month after she died. So that was recorded like 12 years ago.
Wow.
I just spruced it up. I just went in the studio to record it just because that was cathartic at the time, because I was, I could barely get through it. But I put it down. because I've just been through it. And, I'm 52. I never had depression before until about a year and a half ago. It's interesting.
Yeah. It's something I've struggled with for a long time, but never.
I've never had it. I've never had it ever.
And it just hit. And then
it hit when all your fucking best friends let you down.
Yeah.
People that you've taken care of your whole life.
Absolutely. I can't even imagine. That's where this gets so hard, is because I want to be able to relate to that, but I can't. But I want to, it touched me in such a way that, I can't even describe it. Like the feeling I had driving in the car listening to that record. Like it just literally.
Do you have like a couple best friends?
I do. I've had a best friend since middle school.
Yeah. What if you started dating someone and he and his wife never invited you over again?
That would fuck me up. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't understand why. I wouldn't understand. I would have too many questions.
There's no questions. It's because Kent's wife said, "I don't like what she does for a living. I don't think what you do is right, and I'm not comfortable around her." But you're fucking fine with my ex-wife who's been living with a cop for 8 years. A fucking cop.
Yeah.
That's no problem. The cop is invited on vacations with the family, with my daughter.
Yeah.
But not me, because I'm dating a fucking dominatrix. Now, how does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Well, how you're very outspoken about your lifestyle.
No, my ex-wife and I, Erin and I, my wife for 18 years, we had a fucking dungeon in our house the whole time.
Yeah, you've spoken about that, but they know what you're into. Your friends know what you're. That's why it's so surprising to me that they took
I just
that
learned
way.
something. I learned something about 6 weeks ago when I started the Cokie tour, which I didn't know before, which is what made it all make sense. And that's my ex-wife told everyone that I cheated on her with this woman. Now, I never knew that because I didn't. In fact, I didn't fuck her for 6 months because I told my ex-wife, she goes, "We're separated. Can you not fuck anybody for 6 months in case we get back together?" And I said, that's not a fair thing to ask, but yes, I will do that for you because I'm a man of honor.
Yeah.
So why would I think she would tell everyone I cheated on her?
Doesn't make any sense.
I didn't know that. No, because she couldn't tell her friends that I left her because she was a fucking lying drug addict. So I just found that out.
Yeah. So now you get to deal with that too. It just compiles.
Well, at least she finally told me. She finally admitted it.
Yeah. Well, what? So going through these, and you've just started playing. You did that Cokie tour, but you haven't played many of these songs live many times. Does it get?
I can't do it.
It's just as hard.
Yeah, I did the 3 shows, and it was. I enjoyed it in one sense because when I opened up with Bathtub and Fairleather, and I told everyone what they're about, I've never seen a more quiet audience in my life. It's just no one filmed, no one breathed, no one drank. People just stood there, and it was a cappella, and you couldn't hear a fucking sound, and it was beautiful, but it was really taxing on me. I can't do this. I can't do that again.
So Cokie's over pretty much at this point for
no,
live.
No.
Oh.
No, I just give me $50,000. I'll play a show.
Yeah.
I could buy enough drugs to make me feel better.
Man, I can't even imagine. So
let's talk about the songs.
Okay.
I think their music in them is pretty original and never been done.
I agree, and that's what's so fucking crazy about it is, in the song about your mother, the music is, if you put different words to that, it would be a
Beatles song.
Yeah, but you're still dealing with what you're saying, as you're listening to it. But it's a good. The record is fucking great. The music is fantastic, but the stuff that you're putting out in it is so heavy. It takes it to a whole nother level. It's a whole nother ball game. And so,
well, I'm not interested in making records that are easy to listen to. I'm not interested in putting out records to please people. I never have.
Sure.
And wait till you hear the new NoFX record. That is Jason Livermore mixed it, and he said, "I think this is your best work ever."
Wow.
If you're a musician, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, the first song on the new NoFX album, no one wants you to open with it. But if you're a musician, there's no drum pattern. Every chord is played with a different rhythm.
Really?
Yeah. Every measure is a different length.
That's insane.
And bass really depends on any, especially when the song gets going. The bass, you'll hear it. It doesn't land on a note. But I'm not doing runs.
Yeah.
It's the most aggravating song. It's the most tense song I've ever heard, but catchy.
Yeah.
So you'll hear it, the musician, and you'll think, what the fuck is going on? I played it for someone last night, and he said, it was like a nightmare that was a good dream.
That's incredible.
And everyone's like, you can't open your record with this. And I'm like, well, now I'm opening with it for sure.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it's 6 minutes.
No one puts Mike in a corner. Fuck yeah, you're opening with it. Well, I mean, so that's one cool thing about what you've done is especially like with the Decline and where, you know, the Symphony did that deal with it. And you're coming to, I'm in Portland, Oregon. You guys are going to be here on Friday, next Friday, like 5 minutes from my house at Portland Meadows.
Oh, so you're going to come?
Oh yeah. I talked to Vanessa. She's going to put me on there.
You have no idea where you're going to hear either.
Dude, I can't wait.
You think we just like have instruments to build up parts? No, they're all new parts.
Dude, I'm so stoked for this. Like I'm bummed that
took me and Baz probably 30 or 40 hours to write all the parts that don't interfere with melody, that don't interfere with any parts of the song, yet they're their own parts.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I'm absolutely stoked for this, dude. And
Baz is my first co-writer. He's my first person I'm giving co-writing credit to.
Have you? He's your first.
He worked on Cokie the Clown a lot.
Okay.
But it was more like he knows where to place instruments,
mm-hmm.
and then I write the part.
Okay.
And on Decline, and there's a few parts on Cokie where it's his part, but you know I have control issues, and I am better at melody than him, so I always try to make it better. But a lot of parts on Decline are his on the Symphony.
Okay.
Not on the Symphony, he did live, the French one,
mm-hmm.
the new one.
Okay. Man, so
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm stoked to see this. Like it when I saw that come out, I saw the announcement. Then I saw the announcement you guys are doing the Decline with the Symphony. I was like, oh Jesus Christ, this is gonna be great. But it's so cool that the stuff you write can be translated into something that's just. I mean, it's like to someone who's into punk rock. Here's the Decline. Like this is a fucking great song. Like it's a whole a giant piece. But then to be able to translate that same thing into something that you could play for anyone and they say, this is a great song, you know, yeah. To where you take I guess.
You should probably come down to my new house and listen to the 78 songs I've written for Home Sweet Home. Because that's what I'll be remembered for.
That's the musical.
Yeah, the musical only has 23 songs in it, though. There's 78.
78. Are you
Yep.
going to put that out at any time as far as the rest of it?
Yep. I'm putting it out in the most original way anyone's ever put any music out before, I think.
How?
I can't announce it. I can tell you off record.
Yeah,
tell
sure. We'll do that at the end because I don't want to forget to take that out. You know what I'm saying? And fuck that up for you. But man, you're always doing interesting shit like that. But I mean, I'm bummed that I didn't get to see the Cokie stuff live because it didn't come close enough to me to experience what you're talking about with that. Well,
it's so hard because I can't play a big club. I can't play the fucking Crystal Palace. I have to play places that are 400 or 500 seaters, or else you lose it all.
You know, what would be perfect in Portland is the Alberta Rose Theater. Henry Rollins just
but I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, what I want to do next year in 2021 is I want to do a speaking tour with music, and I've been doing stand up lately too.
Really?
And
how's that been going?
Well, I haven't done a lot of it, but I did great every time I've done it. Because I can talk about things that people are just blown away. That I have the guts to talk about, being ass fucked with the fucking Suge Knight sized cock. It makes people real uncomfortable.
That's the thing that was when I originally wanted to speak to you. I was like, man, I want to do a whole podcast with Fat Mike about S&M and his whole other side of his life, because whenever I watch an interview like a big interview like on Q in Canada or that was I think my best interview. Dude, that was great. But you tried to talk about that stuff and it seemed like they kind of just shoved it under and kind of breezed over it. And like a couple times
you know what I have at my
to
house?
bring it out.
You know what I have at my house?
I have no idea what you have at your house.
I have a half a furlong pony track for pony girls.
What?
No. I have, the other night, I had a 3-day fetish party. I had an actual TV star and a winner of America's Got Talent, a singer, singing Beatles songs while people were getting beat against a St. Andrew's cross outside at 2 a.m.
That sounds ridiculously fantastic.
Yeah, well, people in the pool. My parties I have are only like 15 people to 20 people, and I know everybody well. I don't ever invite people I don't know. I don't want anyone in on my fucking world.
Yeah. Which is crazy because you put so much of your world out there.
No, I don't. You think I do?
So you're telling me this piece of music that almost put me in tears driving Mike, I almost had to pull over, is not the tip of the iceberg.
No, it is. Home Sweet Home is what I'll be known for.
I got you. But your life, as far as you're talking about your private life that people don't have, you don't let people in.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're talking about. I got you.
No. Can you picture 2 guys, 2 girls in latex maid's outfit and heels playing badminton?
I can now. Not something I would have come up on my own.
That's what we do on a Tuesday here.
That's fucking glorious. That's absolutely glorious.
I'll send you a short clip, and you can't ever show it to anyone.
I absolutely won't.
On this number?
Yeah, this is my cell. Yeah.
All right. How much longer we got?
We got as long as you want, man. I know you're busy, and so I didn't set any. I just
have another interview, and the guy's pissed because that interview got booked at the same time as yours.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, yeah. If you got to run, we can cut it short. I mean, either way. We could even maybe we could finish up here in Portland or whatever at Portland Meadows or whatever.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I'm going to send you a video of what we did on Saturday.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate the time.
It's great talking to you.
Yeah.
And I love talking about music because it's rare when someone understands the music that I write.
Yeah.
And I sound like such an arrogant asshole sometimes, but no one's writing what I'm doing. No one is.
Well, that's what makes everything so unique that you do, and that's why, so many people are into it, and maybe they don't even know why. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they don't know why. They don't know why they don't know why Eat the Meek. They like Eat the Meek. It's a catchy song. They don't realize that each verse is 16 different chords than the one before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
They don't need to know why.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's why they keep listening to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not, I want your salvation, which
7
is a great
times.
thing. But you hear the fucking chorus 6 times.
Yeah.
You hear my chorus once. Wait till you hear Linoleum, dude. It will blow your mind.
Dude, will you have that song you were telling me about, that opener off the new record with you in Portland Meadows? Like on a phone or something that you could play it?
Yeah.
Dude.
Call me back in an hour and I'll play it to you over the phone.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Will do, brother. We'll talk soon.
Talk later. Bye.
So I got to talk into this?
Yeah. If I use this recorder, it sucks for mixing later.
Okay.
All right. Fat Mike.
Yes.
Dewey has flown down to Los Angeles on a whim to hang out at the place.
At Six Flags Amusement Park.
Six Flags Amusement Park. Fantastic. We're in Mike's palace. In the pool.
I'm in the valley.
You have a palace in the valley.
It's a place in the valley.
It's a place in the valley.
He added a letter.
You're good. You do that a lot. But we've been spending the day here, listening to some tunes and talking shit. And now we're in the pool in full dress.
Yeah. We have a rule at Six Flags that you have to wear heels.
Heels and rubber.
You don't have to wear rubber.
You don't have to wear the rubber. Then I just put this on.
Yeah.
You fucker.
I asked you.
Hey, I know. I'm trying to be. You've been a gracious host.
And you big lug. We don't have shoes that fit your battleship-sized feet.
That's true. I just cannonballed into the pool in a rubber moo-moo.
Yeah, it reminded me of the first Bad News Bears, Engelbert. Oh. Don't jump in the pool, Engelbert. You'll flood the valley.
Yep, and I did. I flooded the valley. Yeah. So
we're supposed to do a serious interview.
Yeah, we're gonna do a serious interview in the pool in rubber in heels.
You don't have heels on.
In the valley. I don't have heels on. That is correct.
This is how life should be, though. You should live.
It is.
You should live life to its absurdist.
This is absolutely absurd, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
We've just been literally the strangest day I've had in a while.
Yeah.
But one of the coolest because we're throwing music ideas around and talking shop. But
we got the badminton over there if you want to play later.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Tennis court. We got the horse track.
See, I don't have a tennis court. Well, yeah, I do.
What is that?
But you know,
yeah.
I don't play tennis as much as badminton.
That's true. You told me some stories about the badminton.
We were playing You've Been Badminton the other day.
You've Been Badminton?
Yeah, and our friend Spunky was single tail whipping her slave if he made a bad shot. So it was fun.
Yeah, I bet.
For her and all of us.
Yeah.
Not so much for Oliver.
Sure. Well, this is absolutely the best place I've ever done an interview. I've done interviews in some weird spots, but this
How about
is
the best place you've ever
best.
been?
This is, I would come back here. This is great. Once all the renovation's done, this is going to be literally just
a place.
A place. In the valley.
Well, at least I'm not out there in Pacoima.
That's a good point.
Or Riverside.
Yeah. Who's the Riverside? Slayer? Isn't that it? Slayer? That's it?
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I've been known to steal Slayer snacks. It's kind of a thing we do.
Yeah?
When we play festivals with them.
How's that go?
Because once Kerry King got really pissed.
Really?
He's like, "What are you guys doing in here? We're just taking some snacks, dude. Chill out." Yeah. he totally got pissed. And Dave Lombardo was like, he's like that. He gets pissed all the time.
Yeah.
He goes, "Take as many snacks as you want." So Dave Lombardo, cool. Kerry King, not cool.
Perfect. I have had Dave Lombardo on the show. He was great.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic
He doesn't
dude.
mind sharing his snacks.
Yeah. He's very gracious. But, Man, so this is a weird one because we've already had some of the conversation over the phone. That's how we met, kind of. And yeah, that one ran a little short, so we're going to continue here.
Okay.
But this is awesome talking about serious stuff in the pool like this. It's such a clusterfuck in my mind right now.
But that's how my mind is all
Yeah,
the time.
I'm seeing inside your world.
I have so much shit going on that I need. I don't know. I don't. I must be on the spectrum. I have to
It's
be.
possible.
I have to be.
I think everyone is to a certain degree.
Well,
Right? If it's a spectrum, you got to have minimal and extreme.
yeah.
But I mean, you're definitely an interesting guy. Definitely, I don't know anyone like you, which is I find interesting because you have a unique sense of humor, you have a unique personality, and a unique take on a lot of things. So
My look on the world and how to live is different than most people's.
yeah. One thing we didn't get into is where does this personality come from? Can you pinpoint a time when were you always this way, where you just said what you thought, kind of did your own
No,
thing?
I was alone. I was kind of abandoned as a kid, I would say. Yeah. Like I say on the Cokie album,
Yeah.
I never had a babysitter.
Yeah.
My mom would go out and party, and my dad was not. He was just somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I was just alone all the time, like at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I, pretty much watched TV.
Yeah.
That's all I did when I was a kid. Little Rascals and Three Stooges.
Yeah.
And I was on In Search of, though, with Leonard Nimoy.
Nice.
For mentally gifted minors, but cool being in Mr. Spock's house.
Yeah.
No, like most people in punk rock, when I found punk rock, it changed everything.
Yeah.
I was not in high school yet.
Sure.
And instead of going to a movie, my friend said, let's go see this band X. And it just changed everything.
Man, and that's where you got your
Well, because punk rock didn't make sense.
yeah.
And why are all these people hitting each other? And what I couldn't understand is how could people not like Social Distortion? Like, it's like the secret. Like, I can listen to Mommy's Little Monsters, or How Could Hell Be Any Worse?
Mm-hmm.
And there was 13 punk rockers in my high school out of 3,000. And what are people? Are you all idiots? You're listening to Depeche Mode or 80s music?
Yeah.
You're fucking morons. We have great music, and I get to see the band play 3 feet in front of me. And it was, you just have to go to really dangerous neighborhoods and
Sure.
and get beat up.
Yeah. Because I mean, you've always seemed since, and I think I was introduced to NoFX when I was 12, maybe 13. I think it was S&M Airlines was the first thing I heard, and I mean, following you guys since then, you've just always had this outspoken kind of personality. You just know who you are. You know what I mean? You've always put forward that front and done what you want. Just something I know.
Well, BDSM is the main thing. But it wasn't until I was 47 or 46 that I was free, finally.
Yeah.
Which is my last hurdle was cross-dressing in public.
Mm-hmm. So you've been experimenting with that stuff for your whole life then, since you were a kid.
Yeah. First thing I ever jerked off to was, like, I didn't understand Hustler or Penthouse. It was just the same thing as National Geographic, just fucking, just boobs.
Yeah.
And genitalia. Who gives a fuck? You know. Then I read a story that was kinky.
Yeah.
And I got
That's
a boner.
what did it.
And that's the first time I jerked off.
Where'd you find that story?
My mom's porn collection.
So your mom was into that too?
No.
No, she just had it and it was just random? Like that
She
was
had
a
a
random
magazine
thing in there?
called Cocks and Cunts. And all it was like close-ups of cocks and cunts. Like, what? Why? It's like, they're so ugly.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Cocks and cunts. That's straight to the point.
Yeah. And she had a mirror above her bed.
Yeah. So you
I
could put two and two
didn't
together
know
at
what
the
that was
time.
for. I thought that was so you could talk to your partner or whatever.
So,
And luckily, my first girlfriend, she was in a girls' gang.
Yeah.
She was a totally violent Latina Italian chick, and we used to like choke each other and like wrestle and have sex in public.
How
Like
old were you
she gave
this
me a
time?
blowjob once at a crucifix show at the Cathedral Grand under a table.
Jesus.
You know,
Yeah.
that was a good show.
How old were you then?
16.
16. Shit.
And the worst was how she broke up with me. It was like, because I was super in love.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, some suicidal tendencies dudes just put me up against a wall by my neck at the Olympic Auditorium and said, "You're never talking to Tish again, or we'll fucking kill you."
Jesus Christ.
It was gnarly.
Yeah.
And then after the show, she saw me and she came after me with a spiked belt with like the buckle, like
Yeah.
swinging at me. And then like 100 people got around us, and she just was wailing on me with his belt, which is not consensual fun.
Yeah.
SM. And I just ran, and so people started chasing me, and then I ran about 4 blocks.
Oh my God.
This is downtown LA, and then my friends found me, and that was it. That was my breakup.
I don't want to hear anyone complain about a breakup after this again. That's fucking crazy.
And you know, and suicidals were everywhere.
yeah. So when
We were at I didn't even notice. I was so naive. We were at a suicidal party,
uh-huh.
and she fucked some guy in a room. Well, you know, while I was in the other room, but I didn't know,
Yeah.
because why would your girlfriend do that to you?
Exactly. You're still naive at that point.
Yeah, she's my first girlfriend.
So how soon after that? So you said the final step was coming out and cross-dressing in public. Were you doing it in private, just, you know, like normal, but you just wouldn't go anywhere that way? Or like, how did you break into that? Because 47, you said? So that's a
Yeah.
long time to be doing this, you know, behind closed doors. I mean,
And
I knew nothing about it.
I felt
through
bad.
A spectator view of NoFX and what you've been doing.
You could tell by
recently.
lyrics what I'm into.
Yeah.
Ever since SM Airlines.
Yeah.
But growing up in the hardcore scene in LA, I mean, if you had long hair, you'd get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
It was a brutally violent scene. So, you know, I was just, you don't do that.
Yeah.
In fact, Luigi from Suicidal,
Uh-huh.
the original bass player,
Yeah.
he almost started shit with Pat Smear until he realized who it was,
Uh-huh.
because Pat looked feminine,
Yeah.
and it was like, you're like, shit. It was dangerous.
Yeah.
So I was in Luxembourg, and I was in a pink nightie
Mm-hmm.
in my hotel room with my girlfriend at the time, Soma, who
Yeah.
was a dominatrix.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm just going to wear this out to dinner. She's like, "No, really? And I went out to dinner, and I felt like a punk rocker again, walking down the street. It's like, people are looking at me.
Yeah.
And then I just went to the show, and Lagwagon were like, even they tripped out. You know?
Yeah. And they've known you a long time.
Chris Flippin was like, "You fucking wearing a dress, dude. What's up?" And Eric Bell was like, "Shut up, dude. That's cool, Mike. You look good."
Stood up for you. That's nice.
It was.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy.
Yeah.
It really isn't. And those words from Rocky Horror, "Don't dream it, be it,"
Mm-hmm.
they stuck with me because I saw that movie when I was 8.
Yeah.
And even when I'm in my 40s, I'm like, God damn it, I still am not living my life how I want to.
Yeah.
I mean, me,
Yeah.
I do everything. I was still scared. And then once I did that, now it was just so freeing. And then I went through Heathrow Airport in a
Uh-huh.
dress.
How'd
that
that go?
That was awesome. And because the two things I finally learned how to get rid of, which are two things that everyone should get rid of, and that's shame and pride. No pride, no shame. Your life will be better.
That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense because, I mean, so when you did that, so then you started, dressing that way on stage. Did anyone in the band have issues with that at all, or were they all completely supportive of that? 'Cause it's also their, it's kind of their image too. You know what I mean? I could see if someone maybe works with it.
Smelly, Melvin is always really supportive.
Yeah.
Smelly's like, "Do you have to wear a dress every night?" And I don't wear a dress every night.
Yeah.
I kind of like to
Yeah.
because it's punk. And I think we've lost some fans over it. But we also lost fans when I used to say to the crowd, "Does anyone here believe in God?" "Oh, you people, well, you're wrong. And what are you doing at an NoFX show? Why don't you leave now?" Because we believe in tolerance. You
Yeah.
people don't.
Sure.
And I'd lose like between 20, 40, 50 people a night.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They just leave.
Because that was, I remember the scuttle about with Under Oath on Warped Tour and those guys, and now I had Tim on the show, and I've known of them for a long time, and we kind of crossed paths here and there.
Tim's the guy I had a problem with.
Yeah, I think he may. I don't remember if he brought it up on the show or not, but it's kind of a changing point for them, like actually making them question. Because at that point they were.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you guys should chat again because that whole band has kind of gone a different direction with everything.
We played a festival with them, and I said hi to all the guys. And,
oh, you did? Okay.
I hugged them. It's like
good.
I was pissed because I questioned all of them, and the dinosaur thing was funny that they didn't believe in dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But when Tim said he didn't believe in gay, didn't think men should be allowed to get married.
Yeah.
I was like, well, we got a problem now.
Yeah.
Now you think your way of living is better, and men can't
time.
love each other.
Yeah.
Now you're fascist.
Yeah.
And that's why I went for them. I don't want to be on tour with a band like that.
Sure.
And eventually they left the tour.
Yeah.
Because of me.
Yeah, I remember. And they've all changed. I think every one of them has changed. And either
well, it's like people who are straight edge.
Grew up,
you grow out of it.
Yeah.
You grow out of believing in Santa Claus and then God. But more importantly is like, if there's a higher power or aliens or whatever it is, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? What you're supposed to do is live your life helping your community, being a good person. And I'm a better person than anyone in Under Oath. I've never fucked anyone over in my life. The only thing I could be accused of is making tasteless jokes.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you didn't hear that? That sometimes I say things with not a lot of sensitivity on stage. But I've never fucked over a band. I've never fucked over a person.
Yeah.
I don't have hate in my heart at all. And it's weird how I'm totally more of a Christian than Christians. Christians aren't like Christ. I mean, I say Christ like he was an actual person.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
But that's the weirdest thing about Christians is how they're gun owners, and they're not. They help their community.
Yeah.
And they're I'm making generalizations.
Sure. Yeah.
But all the other real hate in the U.S. stems from Christians.
Yeah. Religion in general too. I mean, it's started so many issues.
You know why it's so? What makes it great, and why the happiest people in the U.S. are religious people, and couples that don't have children. It's because religion brings you community, and
fellowship,
and people don't understand how important community is. That's why punk rock is so cool, because we have community, and you meet normal people, which is hard. It's hard for me to hang out with normal people because the only community they have is people like co-workers, and they go home to maybe they have a family or they're alone. But if you have a family in your house, you're not happy.
Yeah.
America is not a pub culture like in Europe, where you go for coffees with your friends and you live in a town and it's a community. U.S. it's almost like too spread out.
Yeah.
So that's why religion is so popular. That's why punk rock is so cool. We have it all.
Yeah.
But you need people you can call when you need help. And that's, when Keith Morris needed surgery, we did a benefit for him. We raised $10,000.
Yeah.
And we didn't know him that well, but punk rock is a big family.
Absolutely, especially if you, like you did, grew up where you're mainly alone. You were mentioning on the what I wanted to talk to you about.
You needed a family.
Yeah.
And I found it in punk rock.
But if you had, so you said on the last time we chatted that you don't like to be alone, which makes sense, growing up how you did.
No,
but
that's why my house, I'm going to have 5 roommates move in.
Community. I was going to ask you what happens when you're alone, as far as, I mean, in those rare occurrences where you're by yourself.
Well, I do drugs, wear rubber, and jerk off.
Where things, because listening to that, like talking about the Cokie record, like the awful stuff on there, I mean, that's real. I couldn't imagine, sitting and, after hearing those words and then just picturing, what happens when no one's around, you know what I mean? It's just, I was just curious, like what goes through your mind? Like do you try to, is there any time you're alone, I guess I would say, that you're not doing drugs, or like where you just kind of sit with it for a little while before you numb it? Like, do you ever just sit and?
No, it's just TV. I don't binge watch.
Mm-hmm.
After watching TV or computer for like an hour, I've had it.
Yeah.
And writing songs, I do that alone,
Yeah.
obviously. But and I like to go out and ride my bike for an hour or two, like in LA.
Yeah.
I haven't done this alone, but me and Johnny from Old Man Markley will ride bikes from Van Nuys to downtown LA.
Mm-hmm.
18 miles.
Yeah.
So, but I like hiking by myself and shit like that. I just don't like being in a house by myself.
Yeah.
That's because that's how I grew up.
Yeah. So it just takes you back to that point.
I'm just, it's weird, but I'm like scared.
What are you scared of?
Same things I was scared of when I was a little kid. Nothing. The unknown.
Just anything. Just kind of irrational fears that creep in your head.
Well, yeah, I was in LA. I was, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a blackout, and my mom was in there. She was in the valley, and I was terrified.
Yeah.
And I was like, we had a dial phone, and I found a candle and was calling her friends up, just so I could talk to someone.
Yeah.
I mean, what was I scared of? It's
Yeah.
not like something can hurt me. It's scary.
Sure. It's just that irrational fear of the unknown. Well, your mind starts putting things in your head.
I was living in a mobile home
Scenarios.
here on this property for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because this house was being torn down, and so I'm fixing it. And I realized I could not sleep alone.
Yeah.
I was still scared.
Yeah.
So I'd either stay up all night until it got light out,
Yeah.
or I'd have someone come over. It's weird, right?
It's not weird. It's just it's interesting to me how people process through these things, because we all go through it. The most brave people still have moments alone where irrational fears creep in. You know what I mean? Like where your thoughts get the best of you and things like that. But it's always just interesting to me how people process that and deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, because it's something we all have.
Yeah,
whether we
but,
show
but
it or not.
I'm a real scaredy cat.
Yeah.
And then of course,
So you wouldn't like. So you and I never knew each other before this. Like we talked on the phone, and that was it. Like I know you through music, through all the experiences I've had where your music's playing. Like that's something that I have. You know what I mean? But it wasn't you and I talking. It wasn't you. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, you think you know me.
Yeah.
You feel like you know
to
me.
think you do. You have no idea.
Yeah, like
you know?
everyone thinks they know Tiger Woods because
Yeah.
we all watched him so many
Yeah.
times on TV.
Exactly. Well, it's a part of your life. You know what I mean? To where
And I sing. My lyrics are so personal
yeah.
that people think that they know who I am, but they kind of do.
Kind of.
I don't hold back.
No, you don't. But you don't show everything either, and that's something that this experience has been cool, because it's kind of cool to come down and kind of see into someone's life. You know what I mean? Where right now, I mean, anywhere in the world, we're here talking. Like you and I literally did not know each other. Hey, why don't you come down next
Yeah, I
week
just
and
said
listen to some music? And I was like, are you serious? Because I'll do it.
I'm just like, come on down,
and
hang out by the pool,
Yeah, and that's
put on some
exactly what we're
heels,
doing.
listen to some music.
That's exactly what we're doing, and yeah, it's just awesome,
Well, because the interview I thought was good, and it seemed like you understand my music.
I've
where
spent a lot of time with it.
A lot of people don't.
We used to buy the two best friends of mine are brothers, and that taught me how to play guitar and how we started playing music. We couldn't afford CDs really, so one of us would each buy a separate CD by a band we liked,
Yeah,
and we'd trade them back and forth.
Yeah,
and that was
it's
NoFX.
exactly what I did. We'd each buy 7 inches
Yeah.
and records and tape them.
Yeah, and so we all had special spots for different records than the other person. So like So Long and Thanks for All the Shoes was mine. So that record means, a ton to me, more than others.
I thought that was the best NoFX record for a
it's
while.
fucking glorious. But the You know, there's so many. I gravitate towards a lot of different things that you've said. I mean, there's lines and songs that, and there's things that have, like in interviews and things like that I've heard where you're like, a child doesn't know what normal is. That makes a fucking ton of sense. You know what I mean? And as a parent myself, I find myself fucking up all the time. And then I look back and I see what they now think is normal.
Yeah, but you know what?
You know, like it's
our generation, we care about our kids so much more than the generation I grew up in.
Yeah.
The 70s, it was totally fine to just party.
Yeah.
And my mom was always trying to get me to do drugs, so I caught with her.
That's crazy.
And I didn't try drugs till my 30s.
Yeah. See, that's another interesting thing about you that makes I've said it to a couple people that kind of asked, like, if someone didn't know, and I mentioned, you know, we were doing an interview or something, and I hear he does a lot of drugs. I was like, well, this is kind of his take on it, like where you finished college, you got your career going, you got your business running, and then decided to try stuff.
Yeah.
You know, instead of fucking your whole life up and then trying to recover from it.
Well, that's because my mom said once.
Take.
Well, yeah, I don't know what it was. It's just all my friends were smoking pot in like from 4th grade and on.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to do it. I don't know. And my mom once told me, she goes, Michael, while she's smoking pot, you're too smart to ruin your brain with drugs. Yeah. So don't do what I do. But if you ever want to smoke, I got the best stuff. So do it with me. God, my mom once, she bought pot from Eric Melvin.
Uh-huh.
Well, he wasn't a dealer.
Yeah.
But she's like, Michael, do you know anyone who could score me some weed? And I asked Eric, and he got her $300 worth of pot. And he drove all the way out to my house to deliver it to her.
Yeah.
And she wrote him a check. He's like, you don't have cash? She writes him a check. And then, this is my mom. It was wet, so she didn't think it was good pot. So she canceled the check.
Oh, my God.
She canceled the fucking check for the weed. And Eric's like, Mike, your mom just bounced a check to me for $300 for the fucking weed I bought. So don't ask me again.
Yeah. Ruin that line. Jeez.
Yeah. And then she dried it out, and it turned out to be good.
And it was fine. And she just still never paid him?
She I don't know. I think she blew him. Yeah, that's how it went. Yeah.
Is that the story that couldn't go in the book? Mom blew Eric Melvin.
No. My mom's dead. That's ridiculous. Yeah, we've... But back to that, I wanted to stay on top of things because no one in NoFX was.
Yeah.
They were all out of their minds doing drugs.
Sure.
And, I went to college and real estate school. And
because you were going to be a real estate agent, right?
Yeah.
That was the deal. Was your mom real estate?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bubble burst in '89. But, there was no chance of making money in punk rock, but I knew I was going to play punk rock.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to keep going because everyone... It's fucking what I live for.
Yeah.
That's interesting because that's what I want to do motivational speaking in 2021.
Okay.
Because people have it all wrong.
Yeah.
They think success is being successful, making money. It's totally wrong. Success is being happy.
Yeah, being happy and comfortable in your own skin.
And when NoFX was on tour in our van and we were making no money, the year we each made $9,000, we were ecstatic.
Yeah.
Because we could live. And that doesn't seem like a success story, but that is a success story.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get to play music and not have day jobs.
That's the dream.
And people, they're so backwards. They think money, how can I make money? Then I'll be happy. No, just find out what your passion is and then figure out a way where you can do that and live.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got lucky because we just stuck with it. And I got lucky that because I was going to call it quits maybe in 1988 after our first European tour, and no one liked us. But then I heard Suffer.
Yeah.
And I remembered why punk rock is so good.
Yeah. Bad Religion saved it.
Bad Religion saved it.
And you guys are still playing together. That's so crazy. Like this Friday, you're playing in Portland
Yeah.
together.
Well, on the Warped Tour, we had a deal. Me and Jay Bentley.
Uh-huh.
It's always been like, if Kevin called us, I'd be like, "Is Jay in?" 'Cause
Yeah.
we're not going unless Bad Religion's going.
My high school punk band that was influenced heavily by NoFX and Bad Religion. We opened for Bad Religion in Alaska in Anchorage at the Egan Center. You guys have played there. And that was one of the coolest experiences ever. I got the call on my dad's giant cell phone, the big old Zach Morris phone for Saved by the Bell, from Golden Voice, one of the 3 bands that submitted to do it, and they chose us finally. And that was one of those experiences where it was just like, holy shit, we could actually maybe play music somewhere else and do this, you know. And yeah, it was fun. I was with the dress stuff we were talking about. Like when you posted on Instagram that picture of that old dude on the plane, said I'm sitting next to Bad Religion. I was just immediately in my head thought, I wonder if he's like fully dressed, like right where that guy's like freaking out, just kind of staring at the sky, like, oh, I got to sit next to this guy on the fucking plane. But that was my first thought, just because of
Well, yeah, people. They definitely look at me funny.
Yeah.
On planes.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing in the book that people question,
Yeah.
it's one thing I don't have proof of, and it's the most unbelievable story, but not only do I never lie, but I never embellish.
Mm-hmm.
I will not embellish unless it's something I remembered wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've done bondage on planes in coach, and that's the story that people always don't
They think it's
believe.
bullshit.
Yeah, because we were never stopped,
Yeah.
and nipple clamps, legs tied, arms tied, blindfolded, the whole everything.
Yeah.
There's no rules against that.
Yeah. There's not.
She just someone just said it calms him down, and what are they gonna say?
Yeah, exactly. They don't want someone fucking going out there saying shit about the airline. That happens now. It blows up.
Yeah.
Just like you've seen the power of social media and the
Yeah,
internet.
it was just the guys sitting next to us. I thought they get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
No, they
weren't into
were
it.
looking for other seats, but there weren't any.
Damn it.
That made me happy too. That was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I like bothering people.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Like John Stab from Government Issue. He used to dress really weird.
Yeah.
He used to bother people in the punk scene, and I love making people think differently about life.
Yeah.
That you can do anything you want to. That's why I started Fatale, the dress and panty company.
Yeah.
And we don't sell a lot of stuff, but enough to keep us in business.
Yeah.
But the letters we get from people saying, "Thank you so much for letting me feel okay about wearing women's clothing."
Sure.
I've always wanted to, and there wasn't anyone standing up for that.
Yeah.
Being trans is so acceptable these days,
Mhm.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a woman. But I fucking love wearing women's clothes,
Yeah. It's a whole different thing.
and I do like
It's
getting
totally
getting pegged. But
Well, that has nothing to do with it.
but I never would have thought that I was going to be the poster girl
Yeah.
for cross-dressers but I'm a transvestite.
Yeah.
I don't go with the cross-dressing term.
Yeah.
I'm too rocky. I'm old school.
Well, if you think about it, I'm sure most, if you ask,
I can
most
call
men,
myself whatever I
honestly,
want to.
when there was no repercussions and no, putting it out there, if they enjoyed anal play, they probably would say yes. If they had tried it.
Anybody would. That's where the fucking prostate is.
Exactly. That's
And-
something that is.
And guys will say, "Well, okay, I like a finger up there."
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wouldn't take anything bigger. Why? Well, finger's big enough. How big is how big are your turds, dude?
Yeah.
What's the biggest turd you ever took?
Yeah.
Your
exactly.
dick
You
ain't
have
that
no
big.
idea.
Your dick is not as big as the turds you've taken.
Yeah. You'd like to think so. It's
Yeah.
not.
So you can take. This is funny. I've taught 3 gay men. I've taught them not showing them how.
Yeah.
But they didn't have anal. I go, "Why don't you do anal?" "Oh, it hurts too much." I go, "You don't know how to do it, do you?" So I've taught 3 gay men. I told them how to
do it.
how to take a cock in
Yeah.
your ass,
Yeah.
because they didn't know. Isn't that weird?
That's really weird.
And for all you listeners, it's just easy. I mean, you make sure, the dick, the dildo has a lot of lube on it.
Yeah.
If you're with a girl,
Sure.
and you got to push. You got to push a little so your body thinks it's pooping,
Yeah.
and then it opens up.
People were joking about that. Just pretend you're shitting. Just pretend you're shitting.
But it's not how you do it.
Yeah.
But don't do it if you have to take a shit. Then it's.
Sure. That's just rude.
But that should be obvious.
Yeah. I think it's funny how uptight people are about that stuff, and
I
think there's like a stigma with it, which there really,
There is, but that's what I'm trying to diffuse.
That sucks.
Is I try to make people comfortable with, hey, you could do anything you want to, as long as you're not hurting anybody else.
Sure. There's a whole other world out there that you could, and it doesn't mean you're
how
gay.
sad is it if you live your life without doing what you want?
Yeah.
I knew a couple that were totally in love 15 years ago. They'd be going out like 6-7 years, and the guy, he got the courage to ask the woman if she'd ass fuck him with a strap on.
Yeah.
And she said no. And they broke up.
Because he was probably ashamed.
He was so
and she
ashamed.
Probably didn't know how to handle that either.
And
that sucks.
It sucks. And they were so in love.
Yeah.
And they lost all that.
He opened up to her and it ended it.
Yeah, he didn't
really
open
up to her, but
he
wanted to.
Yeah. And that shouldn't happen to people. If your partner or your lover asks you to do something, you do it.
Sure.
If your chick says, "I'd really like you to suck on my elbow," I know it's weird, but can you suck on my elbow?
Yeah.
While I'm masturbating? You don't say that's stupid. No.
Yeah.
No. Then she'll never ask you for anything.
Sure.
And it humiliates her. You just do it, and then you see, because you know what all sex is trying to make your partner happy.
Yeah.
The happier you make your partner, guess what? The happier they make you.
Exactly. You got to try new things. Like today, fuck, man, Mike and I are in rubber in a pool. It feels fucking wonderful. I can't say I've ever done this before.
No, I mean,
and I have no problem doing it.
No, latex is no joke.
Dude,
it feels really good.
This is awesome.
And we got women in the pool in latex. And,
yes, we do.
And then the dude Mike.
That dude Mike.
Oh, we got Scarlett over here. Yeah, you look good. Everyone looks better. No, not everyone. Well, I think everyone looks better. All women look better in latex. Men, not so much.
Not so much. Especially over 300 pounds, 6'5" man.
Yeah.
In a grandmother's.
Well, you're wearing a nightgown.
It is a nightgown.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like I
but it's not about looking sexy. It's about how it feels.
Yeah. It does feel great in the pool.
Yeah. You're just a weirdo, dude.
Hey, whatever.
You're a weirdo. This is all set up to making you look weird.
Who called you? God damn it. Well, I want to touch on the Cokie stuff because
I thought you were going to say penis. I'm glad you didn't say that.
What's that? Oh, what's that?
You said I want to touch on the.
Oh yeah, I want to touch
Cokie stuff. Okay, let's talk about the Cokie stuff. You got any?
I want to talk. Got any what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh shit. I wanted to talk about. We talked about it in there. I don't know if you can talk about it on the show, but the song that didn't make the record, because those people aren't going to hear it yet.
I played it live before.
You played it live, but that was only a couple cities.
Yeah.
So I mean, the mass amount of people that would have the record on Spotify or picked it up online or whatever wouldn't hear it.
Right. The song is called "And We Did Nothing."
Okay, and that's the one we listened to earlier.
Yeah, that it would distract from the rest of the album because it's too hard for some people to deal with.
Okay.
And it was about when me and Melvin were 16 and some gangsters. It looked like they were about to rape a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Take her downstairs, and the girl asked Melvin for help and grabbed him, and the gangsters said, Circle One Gang, you didn't see shit. And, we were 16 and we were in Compton, and we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And, it still haunts us. And then we went inside and watched the Vandals play.
Mm-hmm.
And that song's weird, right? Because it's such a happy...
Yeah.
It's such a pretty song.
It is.
But, some people give me shit about that when I played it live. Like, you fucking asshole, you coward.
They'd call her this shit out?
Yeah.
Why? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
in Austin, people were calling me names.
Yeah.
But it's a shitty situation,
Yeah.
and I'm not getting killed over because we would have been hospitalized or killed, and we wouldn't have stopped anything
Yeah. We still would have gone and done whatever.
because there
they
was
did.
like 20 or 30 of these guys,
Yeah.
and and the family that was the name of the gang. They used to wear face paint, war paint, so you
Jesus.
didn't even know what they looked like.
Yeah. You couldn't identify him for anything.
Yeah, and we're not doing anything wrong,
Yeah.
And I'm not a superhero. It haunts us, but what are you gonna do? We were
Yeah.
16 years old.
Sure.
My daughter was 14. Like, we're kids,
Yeah. I mean, that's.
but people still get angry
Yeah.
because they think you're supposed to always step in.
Well, you take people through a lot. I mean, I did not get to see the Koki shows, but I would imagine the emotions you take people through on that journey, like you did for me when I listened to the record, and then now hearing the song that wasn't on the record, brought me right back. Like that impact.
These two girls are.
I would see them
okay.
getting mad at you for making them feel vulnerable, like you were. You know what I mean? On stage, where you're that opened up to people, and then you make them feel that vulnerability, and I could see people getting upset about that.
Yeah.
Where it, because I teared up listening to that record in the car, to where, I'm sure some guys would be like, hey, pussy was wrong, like, and oh, fuck him, man.
Yeah, fuck you. I wear a rubber nightgown.
Just fucking displaced anger. Did you get any of that? Like people are
No,
are just
the shows
that
were, first of all, very taxing on me.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how many shows I could do.
yeah.
I'm drinking my vodka. Give me a second. Say something.
So, how many shows
Okay,
did
I'm
you
back.
do? How many shows did you do?
Well, we did 3 on this tour.
3 on this tour. Okay.
And it's the first time there was a band. We had
Yeah.
strings, and we had people from other bands.
And it wasn't all the people that played on the record. It was like a band put together afterwards. Right?
No. Baz played drums on the record, and Danny Lerner played
Okay.
guitar and did lots of stuff.
Nine Inch Nails,
And
okay.
Johnny followed by Markley
Yeah.
and Karina.
Mm-hmm.
But we opened with Bathtub and Fair Leather Friends,
Yeah.
and I told everybody the stories about what they're really about.
Mm-hmm.
And then we opened the show a cappella, just me standing there by myself,
Yeah.
singing the lyrics, and I've never seen anything like it. No one moved. No one took a drink of the drink.
Mm-hmm.
No one filmed. No one. They could barely breathe. It was so quiet,
Yeah.
and because that was, it's a crazy. It's not easy getting your wife out of the bathtub after
Mhm.
she tried to kill herself.
Yeah.
And singing about it a cappella, it was a wonderful moment,
Yeah.
but super painful.
Sure.
But I've never seen anything like it.
Wow.
And
There's a lot of people that can say that from a stage performance, especially with music, where it was just like pin drop silent.
yeah, it was absolute. Nobody wanted to fuck up the moment,
Yeah.
and it was super hard for me. No, not to cry or like I even forgot the lyrics one night because it was just so difficult.
Yeah.
And then after those 2 songs, we started doing sound effects.
Mm-hmm. Changing it out, like trying
Like
to
I
come
hit
out of it a
myself
little bit.
with the hammer, and
Yeah.
it was boing, 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 and then I juggle
Yeah. Right afterwards.
and write a song about how I like Bob Denver more than Bob Dylan. But that's what I like. I like the juxtaposition. And I like to do. I wanted people to go on a roller coaster ride.
Yeah. That's what it's just what it seems like it would be. Not being there, like listening to the record and seeing the videos and stuff like that. Did
That video, the Negative Real video.
Hmm?
Have you seen the Negative Real video from Koki?
No.
You haven't seen it?
No.
You big lug.
No. I haven't.
Okay. Well, it was filmed over there, And the ending is me hitting myself in the face with the rubber mallet for about a minute, 30 seconds.
Good Lord.
Until I was a bloody fucking mess.
With the makeup on and everything.
Yeah,
Just
people
like-
can't watch it. People can't watch it. And the crazy thing is, it was take 2.
Holy shit.
Because in the first take, after about a minute, I kicked the camera over. So Jeff Alulis said,
Kicked it over
you're
on
going
purpose?
to have to do that again. No, I'm hitting myself in the head with this big,
Yeah. But
it
I'm
feels
trying
like
to
a
put it in
boxing
context.
glove.
Okay.
And it hurts.
Yeah.
And my face was sore for a week. But I kicked the camera over by accident.
Yeah.
So he goes, you're going to have to do that shot again. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. So what you see in the video
It's take 2.
is take 2.
That's fucking.
You know what? I'm gonna make it longer. I'm gonna take 1 and add it so you can see me hit myself in the face with a hammer for 3 minutes.
Oh my God. Fuck, dude.
You haven't seen the video?
I haven't.
Mm.
I'm a sorry sack of shit. I should have listened. I'm a sorry sack of latex grandma here.
It looks like you're wearing a sack.
Yeah,
You should try burlap. That's real comfortable too.
I should. I was joking with my wife about her dress looking like a sack the other day, and she got pretty upset.
Well, that's a great.
It was
It's
just
a wonderful
summer
thing to say
yeah,
to your
it was
wife.
just a summer. She's like, "What do you think?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "It kind of looks like a sack."
Oh my God.
Oh, shouldn't have said that. But
No, that's just.
she'll hear this too. She's gonna laugh. She'll be on one of her
She's
long
not gonna
runs,
laugh.
and she's gonna listen to this.
She won't
She'll
fuck you
laugh
for
at
a
that
year.
joke.
No.
But
Yeah, why don't you buy your wife something made of burlap? You know,
I should.
Yeah.
I should
Say,
buy her one of these.
I bought you a burlap sack, babe.
Hey, yeah. California brought you back a burlap sack.
It looks like a sack. I can't believe you said that. You're still married.
Yeah, barely. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
You're supposed to compliment your loved ones.
I complimented the next one she put on. This one was like this. She ordered it
What'd you
online.
say? This one looks like a sandwich bag?
No, I said this one looks amazing. I said this one looks that's exactly what it's, this one, this other one, this black one. Literally, there's nothing to it. There's no shape or anything. It's just literally like a like this. Like it's just there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't dig yourself out of that
Yeah.
hole.
I'll just have to live with it forever. I think I didn't get screwed over because it was my birthday and we were going to go out for my birthday and she was trying to figure out something she was going to
Did
wear.
you get your birthday blowjob?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Is that you get that once a year?
Yeah, maybe three times a year. What's it?
What a
Birthday,
sad life.
Christmas,
That's sad.
random-
Christmas.
Random drunk night.
Wow. You see, what you're supposed to do is wake your partner up with a blowjob.
Never been there.
Never been there.
Never been there.
Well, why don't you
I usually
Before
I
you-
just push
before
him
you
on
put
the
this
shoulder and
podcast
say, "Hey,
out-
get out of here."
before this podcast comes out, why don't you go home and wake your wife up in the morning
Okay.
with
blowjob.
your tongue
Okay.
on her clit?
She's gonna come with me on Friday to the show. You meet her there.
You're both
can
going
ask
to
her if I
come at the
want.
same time? Anyway, no.
You might have to.
Wake her up in the morning
Yeah.
with your tongue on her clit.
Okay.
And if she says, don't do this, I have to pee, say, go ahead, baby. I'm just saying it's a good way to wake up.
Yeah.
And then if you do that to her, then maybe, and you stop calling her a sack,
A sack. I'm sorry,
like a
honey.
dick.
Oh, yeah.
But you see, that's the way you're supposed to wake up, is with the blowjob.
Yeah, that sounds like paradise.
It's not. It's just you just
It's
ask
just what
for
is.
it
It's just what it is.
and give back.
I'm gonna try this.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try this.
You gotta try to wake her up.
Yeah,
Okay, you may want to kiss her pussy a little bit first.
I might.
Chew. Just
might.
don't go right for the.
Say, can you pull up your sack?
Just touch her real soft.
Yeah.
Spread her legs and just start. And you may want to shave. Oh
Yeah.
no,
She doesn't.
You're
like
from
beards.
Portland.
That's the other thing.
she doesn't like beards.
No, but she
So
said
you
it's
have a
growing on
beard.
her. But I said it's growing.
It's growing on
me.
her.
But
That's
yeah,
a funny
it's
thing to say.
Yeah.
Your beard is growing on
It's
me.
growing on me.
Well, beards probably don't feel good on a vagina.
I wouldn't know, but I would
Oh,
just know.
you wouldn't know.
I don't prefer them on my vagina.
I thought you went down on your wife before. But
No,
do
no.
you go down on her more than 3 times a year?
Fuck yes.
But she only goes down on you 3 times a year.
No, that was a joke.
That was not a joke.
That was a joke.
No, it wasn't.
That was.
No, it wasn't.
It was a joke.
No, it
It's
wasn't.
not often, but it wasn't a joke. It's not
It's
often.
not
But it's not
often.
3 times a year.
What's your wife's name?
That's what's that?
What's your wife's name?
Dion.
Dion.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, you'll meet her on Friday,
okay.
and yeah, she's super. Awesome.
Dion, I'm going to say, beyond the cock. Dion, beyond cock more with your mouth.
Dion beyond cock. Oh shit, this is awesome.
You just got to ask for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, your wife's probably never tied you up before.
No,
No, but you'd
No.
love her to.
I don't know.
What do you mean
I
you don't
honestly
know?
don't know.
You wouldn't like.
I've never tried it. I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Would you like to try it?
I'll try whatever.
Well, you've never asked her.
No, I never have.
Why not? Because you tell her how badly she looks in a dress.
Yes, because I called her. Said her dress looks like a sack.
Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Never do that
That's
again.
done. That's done. Never.
That sacky dress looks great on you.
Yes.
Is what you say.
You look great as a sack. The
Okay.
fixation on the sack. Oh.
So, I expect your report back
Yeah.
when I see you Friday night.
You can ask her yourself.
Okay, I'll say
You absolutely
Did-
can. I'll be like, honey, this is Mike.
he,
Hey, I got a
he's the
question
guy
for
that
you.
gave me the idea.
Yeah. Hey, remember this morning? That was him.
Yeah, is she on a period?
No.
Great.
No.
See nothing.
No. Last week.
Great. So
Yeah.
you're all good.
We're in the clear.
Not that I mean, if you do while she's on a period, women are generally hornier.
That's extra points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Also worse with a
What's the
beard.
big deal? Just stay on the clit. No big deal.
The flavor saver changes on that time with the beard. So,
Oh yeah, you got the beard.
yeah.
Oh, so you got that fucking period in your
gift that keeps
beard
on giving.
all week long.
Your gray hairs are red. What's going on? She's eating some pizza.
Okay.
Try to blow it.
So, but you know what? You are gonna go down on her on Thursday morning. I know it.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's gonna say, "That was a wonderful wake up."
Yeah. Be like,
And-
hey, text this number real quick. Tell them how you're feeling. He'll be fucking be 4:30 in the morning when our kids are getting up. Who the fuck is this? Dion. Oh God, he's doing it.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
The problem with me is that I never shower, or bathe.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes my parts get a little
A
stinky.
little ripe.
Yeah, a little ripe.
We were talking about this at one point.
We were
with
talking
the-
about how badly my parts
No, we were
smell.
on the show. Another person. I don't remember who it
This
was.
interview is just going on forever, and it's getting better or worse. I don't know.
I think it's been fantastic.
Mm.
This is what my listenership likes to be, a fly on the wall in these conversations. Just
Yeah.
whatever happens.
Dozens of people are going to love this.
Dozens, yes. It's
Literally.
a lot. No.
Dozens.
We were talking about this, how gnarly it is. Girls that would hook up with dudes in the van after a show. Not before, but after a show, going down on these dudes. Like, do you have any idea the smells that come out? Especially some of these bands have stage clothes.
Christians, yeah.
That fucking wear the same thing every night, but then after a show, that's when you make your move. Fucking gross. But more power to
Well, I know a girl, Gigi, who went down on this guy, Lynn, who sang for a metal band. He died. I forgot what
Alice
they're
in
called.
Chains.
Huh?
Alice in Chains.
No, that's a terrible band. Well,
Oh, Lynn. I said
Lynn.
Lane.
Lynn Straight.
Lane, sorry.
He was on Ozfest. His band.
Snot?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend Gigi, she hooked up with him after a show, and she's like, "Hey, you go down on me first." So he went down on her, and she goes, "Thanks," and bailed.
And bailed.
Yes.
She didn't get any snot.
Lynn's like, "What?" He's like, "Fuck off." That's that song. Whatever Dee Dee wants,
Yeah.
she's gonna get it.
That's what that's about?
Yeah.
God damn it.
But her name's Gigi, and
You changed
my
it.
ex-wife Erin made me change it.
Really?
Yeah. You can't write a song about Gigi. You haven't written a song about me.
Fuck again.
Oh, yeah, I did. That song about, what's it called? Fuck you.
Fuck you, sack.
No, it's EEWE.
You.
I'll never, whatever.
We're losing it.
Erin will never hear this because her attention span will not last. Anyway.
We won't pass the muster. Yeah, because we'll be, this is going to be,
The point is, for this whole interview,
Yeah.
Gigi sings better than Dee Dee. Whatever Gigi wants.
Yeah.
Sounds like a guitar.
Yeah.
Gigi, you know. I had to change my art.
Yeah. Goddamn. Well,
Are we done?
yeah, I think we can be done because I want to get back in this pool. It's hot as shit out here on the side. Trying to keep the equipment alive, but
Oh, do you know that's not even on record?
it is. Don't even fuck with me, Mike.
No, I actually pushed stop.
You fucker.
Those are the best interviews, the ones that never get recorded.
Well, yeah, right as I'm moving into my sentimental segue to the end, but I gotta say, with the Koki record, I appreciate your honesty with that, and the feelings that I had were genuine with it, and I appreciate that. But your music and artistic contribution to my life growing up, I mean, you've been a part of my life since I was 12 or 13 in some capacity, whether it's music imprints on you, I think, to where, I could tell you where I was when I heard this song,
Yeah.
this record, it's with me forever. You know what I
It's
mean?
important.
And it's really cool to sit here and just shoot the shit with you, It's a cool thing.
This is a wonderful interview.
I appreciate
I'm glad
that
you
a lot.
came down.
I'm super stoked, and I appreciate, having that. I'll have that forever, So
And your wife's going to appreciate
she is
it.
going to appreciate it.
Stop calling her sack-like.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it, man.
Sure. It's nice to meet you, Jewy. Jewy, what is it?
I'm German.
Ooh.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that wild and crazy double conversation with Fat Mike from NoFX and Fat Records. What an awesome dude. What just an absurd life, but just awesome, free, honest living life he has. And getting to see into that and become a part of it, in something he keeps somewhat private, his home and what he does there. Letting us in and into a group that's very small with someone you've been listening to for a long time was just a once in a lifetime thing, and I appreciate that so much. So thanks to Fat Mike and Mike from Jabberjaw, Vanessa, Samantha, everybody that works for the show, making this happen and making it awesome. So I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate you coming back week after week. We've got a lot of great content coming to you guys soon. And I mean, we just keep doing these interviews. Check out the Punk and Drublic Fest this coming Friday in Portland. If you're listening to this in Portland, it's NoFX, Bad Religion, Anti-Flag, MXPX, The Last Gang, and Mean Jeans at Portland Meadows. I will be there, and we're going to be having an awesome time. So, guys, definitely check out Punk and Drublic. If it's coming to your city, go check it out. It's an awesome deal, and they've got lots of fun shit planned and some stuff you haven't even heard of yet. So, definitely check that out. And there's going to be some new music coming out from NoFX hopefully soon. I don't know when. I just know they're working on it and heard some of it, and it's going to be fucking awesome. And that's another thing. I'm very lucky to get to hear stuff early like that. It's really cool, especially in the studio it was made in, and where it should be heard on those monitors and as they heard it as they're making it. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm exhausted. It's been a long couple days back home in Portland. And I appreciate it week after week, guys. Shoot me some emails. Let me know what you thought of the conversation. If you thought it was totally fucked up, if you thought it was awesome, I just want to hear from you and see what you thought, because it was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So I'm glad I can share that with you, and I appreciate it, guys. And as always, we'll see you on the radio.